As much as I wish we could focus solely on the historic moment of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson officially becoming a Supreme Court justice, there are more big stories coming out of the court that she has just joined in what NBC News is calling one of the most important environmental decisions in years. The Supreme Court ruled against the EPA, severely limiting the Environmental Protection Agency's power to regulate greenhouse gases. In a 6-3 ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote for the majority, quote, capping carbon dioxide emissions at a level that will force a nationwide transition away from the use of coal may be a sensible solution to the crisis of the day, but it is not plausible that Congress gave EPA the authority to adopt on its own such a regulatory scheme. A decision of such magnitude and consequence rests with Congress itself. A group of 27 conservative attorneys general sparked the case when they took issue with 2 federal clean energy rules, neither of which are currently in effect. Their victory is a major blow to President Biden's lofty environmental goals, forcing the Biden administration to more heavily rely on a dysfunctional Congress. The 3 liberal justices were in the minority again, with Elena Kagan authoring a cautionary dissent, quote, whatever else this court may know about, it does not have a clue about how to address climate change. The court appoints itself, instead of Congress or the expert agency, the decision maker on climate policy. I cannot think of many things more frightening. Respectfully, I dissent. But the court also handed Biden a victory on Thursday, allowing his administration to end the Trump-era Remain in Mexico policy. That's the cruel policy that forced asylum seekers at the southern border to wait in Mexico for their cases, sometimes for months or even years. Nearly 70,000 people were held in limbo because of that policy, setting up tent cities on the Mexican side of the border. It was a 5-4 decision with Justices Roberts and Brett Kavanaugh, surprise, siding with the 3 liberals. But surely that's not enough to save the Supreme Court's crumbling legitimacy, given everything else they've done in recent weeks. Here with me now is Mark Joseph Stern, senior writer for Slate, covering the courts and the law. Mark, welcome back to the show. This term, the Supreme Court has ruled on everything from abortion rights to voting rights to climate change to gun control, all in extreme, unpopular, and many would argue unprecedented ways. How will history remember this latest judicial roller coaster? Some are calling it a judicial coup.
Well, I think that, frankly, history will remember this as the beginning of a conservative revolution. In some ways, it is the culmination of a decades-long effort to overturn countless liberal precedents, and on that front, the majority succeeded. But in another sense, the majority is just teeing up a series of future decisions that will go much further beyond what it did this term. So as devastating and indeed catastrophic as many of these rulings are, I think that what's around the bend is even more frightening, and we shouldn't think that just because the court checked so many items off its list this month that it's anywhere close to done with its rampage.
Indeed, and the climate change decision today on Thursday, just horrific. The decision on West Virginia versus EPA explicitly limits the powers of the Environmental Protection Agency. But it's not just the threat to the planet that the Supreme Court now poses. It's the entire, as you say, conservative revolution, the federal government's broader powers of regulation. Help unpack for us the full impact of this ruling. How will it affect other departments, other things the federal government wants to do?
So for many decades, when the court is asking whether some kind of government rule or regulation is legal, it looks at the text of the law that Congress passed. And it says, well, is this authorized by the law that Congress enacted? And in this decision, the court actually kind of abolishes that approach and creates a new doctrine that it calls the major questions doctrine. And it says that when there's some kind of government action or regulation that involves a major question about the environment, about energy, about any kind of policy that 5 justices think is really important, that it's not enough for it to fit into the law that Congress passed. Congress has to somehow go far above and beyond and say in the most explicit terms possible that this is allowed. So here, Congress did not use the words regulating carbon emissions through cap and trade or something like that. And so the Supreme Court says that the EPA doesn't get to do it.
Ridiculously. Last but not least, as if all this wasn't enough, the Supreme Court is already scheduling its next term And it's agreed to hear a case that would give state legislatures potentially independent power to set election rules in their states and disregard state constitution, state courts. This was the theory that was at the heart of John Eastman's bonkers plan for Mike Pence to help overturn the election for Trump. I mean, are we now at a point where the Supreme Court is going to affect, influence, help decide the next presidential election, or am I overstating this?
You are not overstating this. This is one of the biggest and most frightening cases involving American democracy that the Supreme Court has heard in history. This has the potential to revolutionize the way that we conduct elections by giving gerrymandered state legislatures absolute and untrammeled authority over all election laws, including not just partisan gerrymandering and voting rights, but also potentially the appointment of presidential electors in the Electoral College. The Supreme Court could use this case to effectively legalize the coup attempt that Donald Trump made in 2020 by letting state legislatures throw out the popular vote in their state and instead assign electors to the losing Republican candidate. This is a horrific case. It is an absolute alarm for everyone who studies voting rights and democracy, and we should be very afraid of what the court will do with it.